I makwaba senden so yese ehyiemu habiem na mesese ene dey so na wo ba channel so dia na subscribe like send you drop in the latest news bia also obejebre na wanya bi etie na yemonra nsem mu na nse nsem abebom no recently na plane crash etimi course so ewo oboase kwan so Brofoyedru mantem ho Emma ekowi akire no emse minister regional minister central regional minister de nsem beto dwa se omubehia plane no crash no some of the items are etimi disperse ye se ne be betimi involve omo investigations na ma bibia etimi aye complete enti omo de cash rewards ba bonten se wa ubihu some of these items, you can return it and get a handsome reward. Bromode nsem ne beto dwa still no mo ye ehu se ase ebima returning but ebimu nyan returning some of the plane crash items bi no. Enti omo kire se security analyst ni bi kire se edu se na by now asesenka president Mahama declare state of emergency ewoda mantem ho efreho Brofoyedru se ne be ya military will begin to search homes by homes etimi retrieve any stolen plane crash items and as debris bia na akodi timemufo no ho na mitie nsem we na mitimo se ekoba says ye declare state of emergency ewoda mantem ho ye ma obi MP so be pie be searchel ewo kwan so na military etima borum ho akossechi homes ya akoye se what they did no we didn't appreciate. Yes, because the incident in this year now the military don't know any radar to track the crash na zo mbe tracking the plane crash na esi wo ho timemfo na adwun se emwa emike investigations o matana ho ache netimi ema yehu se this as okay say kobase if you are to declare state of emergency at that place na yema military for tigum si omoko search home by home say me to my opinion ni de me hu ni say ye ne oman no anase ye ne timemfo no wo da abro no so no eni niye ade bia kasade declaring state of emergency and allowing military to intervene at that place to search home by homes no me hu ni say made to me need me hu ni say entobase one yenti security analysis no so ni nsemo no de atudwa
debris of this helicopter that crashed within this period. This cash reward period ends today. Would you recommend or support that call that if there's that suspicion that some of them have not returned the debris, there should be a regulated search of their homes to retrieve them?
For having me, and good evening to your audience. Alfred, Article 31 of the 1992 Constitution allows the president to declare any part of Ghana as an area, a state of emergency. This is a political speech act and doesn't have to justify to anyone except to report back to Parliament. Alfred, just let me indulge you for 1 second. Article 31 clause 1 says, the president may, acting in accordance with the advice of the Council of State, by proclamation published in the Gazette, declare that a state of emergency exists in Ghana or in any part of Ghana for the purpose of the provisions of this Constitution. The modern crime fighting approach and strategy is that suburbs, entire settlements, small settlements can be declared crime sites, cordon off, and conduct searches. After the moment a state of emergency is declared in an area, the people in that particular enclave their privacy rights, their autonomy rights, and all of those constitutional protections fall. I'm very much familiar with this because Act 851, the Public Health Act of 2012, I drafted the portions that President Akufo-Addo relied upon to declare limited state of emergency, Greater Accra, Greater Kumasi. And so, if you understand disaster management really well, this should have happened long ago because of the spread of the aircraft equipment all over the place. And because the citizens, whether in bad faith or good faith, have also gone to the site, the crash site, and taken items and even expanded the spread of the equipment and the parts of the aircraft that ricochet all over the place by taking those parts to their homes. And so that immediate community should have by now been declared a state of emergency under Speech Act given to by the president by the Constitution to the president. Alfred, that is why on the 26th on your program, I said there should be a manual, SOP, for everything that we are doing, which we don't have as a nation, because a lot of people don't think about the intricacies of disaster risk management and criminology. So yes, already the citizens have spread the pieces of the items that they stole or they took as souvenirs, and therefore the president may declare the entire enclave under a state of emergency to give the security agencies more opportunity to conduct house-to-house searches if they don't return those items. And that will mean you cannot travel outside the place. And because before you travel, your luggage will be searched. And under health conditions, because human body has been burned in that area, something we don't practice in this country, except maybe in India. Because of that, even the air quality in that place is compromised. And so with these reasons, if the president chooses, he can declare a state of emergency in that immediate enclave, and the community that are closest to, and conduct house-to-house searches if the people are not willing to provide the items that they stole.
I see.
This will be a good security reason to have declared that place, and I'm sure the president wasn't well advised, because that should have been done at least a day or two ago, so that the search could have been conducted by now.
Right. There's that also proposal, and that has been made by people of like mind, like yourself, that the search shouldn't be done in a way that would also breach some sense of security within the community, because then you would also push them to do other things, as it were, to either hide what they have taken or not even disclose it at all. Today is the end of this appeal to them with a cash reward. Now we got to know within this period that the cash reward was giving, a wristwatch was returned, aside from the other debris that we have seen, or my colleague Ibrahim Abubakar captured on video, which we have. What does that tell you?
But there were 8 people, and each one of them had a phone, probably a laptop, iPad, and watch. And there may have been also money in each one of them in their pockets, accessories that were there. Where are they? Did they all got burned? And I'm not a goldsmith, but do wedding rings get burned like that? How come we can't find them? How come we haven't found them? Or have they been found? You know, these are some of the questions that one needs to ask. And so for me, if I were an advisor to the president, I would have advised that declaration of state of emergency for that enclave long time ago. We don't have manuals for all of this. The SOPs are old as our independence. The security agencies are not helping us, all of them. And I'm not going to limit it to one agency. Some of these things should have been played out to the president as suggestion in terms of tracing the items that we can't retrieve, even though the villagers went there to take them. So I totally would support that effort.
I see. And Dr. Norman, before I let you go, earlier today, there was another unscheduled, or if you want to call it the emergency landing of one helicopter. Again, we're going to put it on the screen. 9GAFW occurred earlier today at Nkoko and Pendream in the eastern region. While it is on record that no injuries were reported, the repeated emergency stops of the same aircraft, this same blue aircraft, the helicopter, within a short time frame, has also intensified questions about the safety of that particular, and then that's the status of this helicopter that we're talking about. For you, based on what we have seen happen on last week Wednesday, and then this one, there's been calls for a more holistic and expanded review of helicopters of institutions that rely on it for air travels. Is it one that you also support?
Yes, by all means. But it's the pilot, the cockpit culture is all part of it. Because if you're going to review the equipment, let's say you buy new equipment and you don't change the culture within the pilot, within the cockpit, these kinds of mistakes, even with brand new airplanes, sometimes crash because of this culture. And every aviation expert will tell you it is a very important aspect of aircraft crashes. So yes, it is good to review and even replace some of the equipment, but you also have to look at the human factor, because there cannot be just an. It is always by commission, omission, human error. That is not an accident. That's negligence. Every accident, whether it's auto accident, kitchen accident, food poisoning, that's negligence. Air crash is negligence. No accident happens out of the blue sky. Everything is done by commission or omission and all. So even a new airplane, if we don't change the culture of maintenance, the culture of piloting, the culture of everything, we will end up with some of these incidents quite often.
Dr. Ishmael, I want to appreciate you for this. Thank you. Thank you so much for joining us as security analyst, also a lecturer at the Ghana Armed Forces Command and Staff College. Thank you so much, Dr. Ishmael Norman, there. And that helicopter we showed you that did that emergency landing in Nkoko and Pendream in the eastern region just about a few days ago had also made another.
Most of the times, you know, nsɛm bi seesie na wɔanya nto boase a ɛbɛwie akyiri no na akɔfa nsɛm bebree so asa abɛbom akɔfa nsɛm bebree asa abɛbom enti memi nsusuye ne deɛ they should relax. Yes, ɔmo no mu ɛnyɛ no step by step kasa de na ɔmo hwɛ sɛ ɔmo no ɔmo ɛbɛtumi ayɛ bibia one settlement bia bɛtumi akɔ so peacefully. So obimpo etime wia stolen debris ni bi kra na at least kasa denti nipa no betimi a return, but using say declaring state emergency and as using say obedi force ebebo room ho na mako retrieve items, who knows say ebia domu hu ye no ma return na ebi omo enyu bi nkwohwe mo ho so dia because ade etimi sie na ne nyina hyedworo be de me nye hwe se ma me fa musia me fa nsem foforo mremo 84 makwa baba daily update tv ne so na Mr. Se enene da oba channel ne so